Alright, so now the fun part of multiplying and dividing rational expressions. So, these look terrible, but bear with me. Let's factor these. Let's see what cancels out. It'll turn out to be okay. I can almost promise you that. I say almost because some of you guys are still going to look at this and be like, that's disgusting still. And that's fine. You're allowed to think that. But it's not as bad as what it starts out to be. That's what I will point out. Okay. So, on C, I need to factor the top, I need to factor the bottom, I need to factor the other top, and I need to factor the other bottom. Notice how you got a difference of cubes here. So like I said, you guys need to be able to recognize that, hey, I have a difference of cubes. Am I going to make you memorize that difference of cubes eventually? It might sink in a little bit because it's not really that hard if we use it enough. But as of right now, you might not have it memorized, which is fine. Alright, so let's go. Let's go factor this. Alright, so using guess and check, I've gone ahead and done this part. Again, this is just from that formula that I taught last section. And I've given you a couple times now. From here, I factored out a GCF because all of these had an X. I can probably end up factoring this one further, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Looking at this, maybe not. So, since there's multiplication, I don't need to do a whole lot of other kind of stuff. I don't need to do, keep, change, flip. I don't need to do any of that. So it's just multiplication. So I can just pretend like this is one big fractional bar. Cool. So now I can cancel out stuff if it matches. So, I think this should be a +7. So otherwise I'm going to get a +21. I want a -21. Think everything else is good, so let's go cancel some stuff. So I've got cancel, cancel. I've got big old cancel, big old cancel. Do I have anything else that matches? Yeah, over in this fraction all by itself I have the x minus 2. So really, all that it comes down to is this 2x minus 3 over x. Cool. And if I was mean and had to go find the domain, then I would have x cannot equal 0 to -7. And x also can't equal whatever the heck I would get from this quadratic formula that I'd have to use to find out what the heck that's going to equal there. But luckily for you guys, I'm not going to make you do that this particular bit. So, you're welcome. Alright, on D, I've got x cubed plus 1 over x squared minus x minus 2 divided by x squared minus x plus 1 over x squared minus 4x plus 4. So there's a couple different ways that I can do this. Either way, it's going to turn out to be the same thing. It's just the order in which you do your steps. Some of you guys see division of fractions and you're like, okay, so I can do the copy dot flip or keep change flip, whatever you guys learned in middle school or algebra 1, whatnot. That's fine. Honestly, that's probably the step I would do first before I even think about factoring. That way I'm not writing that much and having to continue to write sign after sign after sign, because let's be honest, sign errors are where most of us mess up, including myself, if you can't tell. Yes, if you can't tell, I do kind of, point out my flaws all the time. So I've got x cubed plus 1 all over x squared minus x minus 2. So keep, change. So instead of that division sign, I'm changing that to my multiplication symbol, and then I'm flipping this fraction, hence the name keep, change, flip, or copy dot flip. One of the two that you have learned. Probably at some point. If not, it's pretty useful to know, I'm not gonna lie. I was never taught it. I was just kind of told, hey, you can do this. But now that I've got that little tiny rhymey thing from your guys' middle school teachers, kind of thank them for it, to be honest, because it's useful. Alright. So now let's factor this bad boy. Again, I see this time I've got a sum of cubes that I'm going to have to factor using that handy dandy little formula from last section. All the rest of these, let's see if they factor. Alright, this one wasn't nearly as bad to factor, especially if you're just guessing and checking, which honestly this one's probably the easy one to guess and check, as long as you remember that little summation of cubes formula, then you should be okay on this particular bit. Alright, so I've got this factored. Now I'm just going to cancel. Canceling's the fun part because you get to get rid of all the negativity. So, big cancel, big cancel. So, all that I've really got left is x minus 2 over 1, which is still just x minus 2. Alright, so that's it. It's a lot prettier than what it was.